Hey guys, welcome back to another tutorial video. In this video, I am going to show you guys this wonderful scalping strategy for Bitcoin. This strategy is for 5 minutes time frame and it has over 70% win rate. As you can see, these are the trades that I have taken over the last day. This is over 17 trades with just 2 losses. If I can continue like this, I will be able to turn $100 to $19,000 with this strategy after 100 trades. I will show you how to use this strategy step by step, so it's very important that you watch the entire video and follow each and every step, because if you miss one of the steps, there is a high risk that this strategy will not work for you. Before we start, let me remind you that if you like this type of content, do well to give this video a thumbs up below and also subscribe and earn notifications so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. So now let's go through the strategy step by step. So the first step is to switch from candle to hiking ashy chart. Hiking ashy candles are typically used to smooth out price action, eliminate noise and make it much easier to identify trends in the market. A typical uptrend using regular candlesticks will likely have a mix of both red and green candles. For example, looking at this chart at this point in time, we're in a short-term uptrend. We have a small consolidation at the down, we have a strong green candle followed by a red candle, then a series of green candles followed by another red candle. And finally another series of green candles before the uptrend ended. This is typical price movement on a regular candlestick chart. Just because we're in an uptrend, it doesn't mean 100% of the candles will be green. It's normal to see pullbacks along the way which come in the form of these red candles. However, if we look at a hiking ashy chart during this exact same period of time, you can see that things look very different. We have the same small consolidation at the bottom, but the uptrend consists of only green candles before it ends at the top here. This is why it's much easier to see trends on a hiking ashy chart when compared to a regular candlestick chart. When we're in a strong uptrend, there are 2 main things you'll want to look out for on the hiking ashy candles. The first is a large green body. Now for those who are new to using candlestick charts, the body is simply the thicker part of the candle, whereas the wicks are the very thin parts on the top and bottom. So when we see a large green body on a hiking ashy candle, this indicates that we're in a strong uptrend. And the second thing we'll look out for is no lower wicks on these green candles. Both of these criteria occurring together indicate a strong uptrend. Similarly, when looking for a downtrend on a hiking ashy chart, we want to look out for 1 large red candle bodies and 2, no upper wicks on these candles. Both of these criteria occurring together indicate a strong downtrend. So now that you have understand the basics of using hiking ashy charts, let's head over to the main strategy. The next step is adding indicators to the chart. So click the indicator button in Trading View and search for EMA, then click the moving average exponential indicator twice, 1, 2, and then go to the settings. For the first EMA and change the length to 50 and then change the color to yellow. You can pick any color and I prefer to make the line a bit thicker. Now go to the settings for the second EMA and change the value to 200 and I prefer to use a blue color for this one and a bit thicker line just like this. And now we also need to add MACD. Search for MACD and add to the chart. Go to the setting. In this strategy we will not need the signal lines, so untick the MACD and the signal lines. We only have the histogram and we'll also need to change the time frame for the MACD. So notice that we are in the 5-minute time frame in the chart, but for the MACD, we're using the 1-minute time frame. So we will use the 50 and the 200 EMA as a trend indicator, and we will always take trades in the same direction as a trend. So when the 50 EMA is crossing the 200 EMA to the upside, that is when the yellow line is above the blue line, then we are allowed to make long positions and then we will enter the trades on pullbacks. So when we have a big downtick on the MACD, then we wait for a large green body on the hiking ashy candle and enter the trade right away. So we're looking for a downtick on the MACD that is bigger than the average. Now we'll say it's this one right there. So we wait for a large green hiking ashy candle and we enter our trade. So we take the profit, that's 0.5%. And we have a stop loss of 0.4%. And as you can see, these traders also win. And then we're looking for another downtick that is bigger than average. now, I will say is this one right here, so I will enter at this large green body candle. So we entered a trade right here and take a profit of 0.5% and have a stop loss of 0.4%. And we won't enter trades as close to the crossover as possible, the probability of a win is a lot higher closer to the crossover. So after you made about 3 to 5 trades after the crossover, stop trading and wait for the next crossover. And the same thing applies to shorting as well, when the 50 MA is crossing the 200 DMA to the downside, then we can only take short positions. So now we're waiting for an uptick on the MACD that is bigger than average. And then we can enter a short position. So I would say this uptick is bigger than average. So we will enter short right here at this large red body and take profit of 0.5%, put the stop loss at 0.4%. This is also win, and then we're waiting for another uptick that's bigger than average. And I would enter right here and take the profit at 0.5% and set the stop loss at 0.4%. And this is also a win, then we have another big uptick here. I would enter right there and set the target at 0.5%. And the stock goes up 0.4%. And this is also a win. And then after a few trades stop trading because it's getting riskier and riskier. Since we are in the 5-minute time frame, crossovers like this happens a few times per day, and we only need to make 5 trades per day. So there's no stress after the crossover, we can stop trading after a few trades. The next step is knowing the potential and using the right leverage. As you can see in this profit calculator, if we start with $100 and we have a win rate at around 70% and taking profit of 0.5% and having a stop loss of 0.4%. And we make 120 trades in a month, that's in average 4 trades per day, and using a 50x leverage, we can actually make over $23,000 per month with this strategy. And this only works with exactly 50x leverage. The next step is to trade on the right exchange. To trade a scalping strategy like this, you really need to use an exchange that is good for scalping. There are hundreds of exchanges out there, and only a few of them are really good for scalping. So what you need to look for is an exchange with super low fees, because we are taking profit at 0.5%, and we use a stop loss at 0.4%. So if your trading fees are high, it will eat too much of the profit and this strategy will no longer work. For example, if we use Binance here as an exchange, look at these fees, 0.1% for limit orders and 0.1% for market orders. 0.2% from the profit will be taken in fees. So that is obviously too much. So if we run this strategy with Binance, we would lose all the money after just a few trades. Because this is a very high scalping type of trading, the only exchange for me to take all of these trades are Bybit. On Bybit, I will make money when I'm using market orders, I only pay 0.075% in fees. And this is the lowest I've found out there. So this is really, really good for scalping. And I'm using market orders for my entries, and limit orders for my exit. So I will pay an average 0.05% in fees on each trade. And that's enough to turn $100 into $23,000 based on the strategy after 120 trades. That is it for today's video, thanks for watching, and before you go, don't forget to give this video a like and also subscribe and turn on notifications for future videos.